What's going on, guys? Isaac here. Once again, we're going to be playing some more Medieval 2 Total War, because I love this game and it's so fun, and we're playing with my favorite faction, Venice. And today is another learning experience, talking about some very interesting units. But first, let's go over my army before we get to that. We have, of course, my General's Bodyguard, who is wearing the typical helmet, as compared to these guys. Plus, I have 1, 2, 3 units of Broken Lancers. They are pretty decent. Heavy cav. How decent, I do not know, but they're decent. And then, of course, 1 unit of Mounted Sergeants. I'm bringing back some more Light Cavalry, and Light Cavalry in this game does kind of suck, but we'll get to that later. Plus, I have 2 units of Armored Sergeants. And now, my favorite warriors of all time in this game, my Venetian Heavy Infantry. These guys are so devastating. Indeed, that is a huge shield that they are carrying, and indeed that is a huge spike weapon. That is a warhammer, and it is incredibly devastating and will kill tons of people. And here these people are so amazed at it that they are chanting and oohing and ahhing. Next, I have 4 units of dismounted feudal knights. They are dismounted, they are feudal, and they are knights. Yes. And mixed up with them, I have 4 units of musketeers. And finally, to bring in some more odd things, I have a monster Ribiol. Yes, it's called the monster. It shoots lots of things. Yes, that is 36 barrels right there. You can pause the video and count them if you want, but that is supposed to be 36. And today we're going to be talking over, is gunpowder more powerful than crossbows and, arrows? And how can it be used effectively? So, let's look into my opponent. He has, first off, a unit of Scots Guard. I think he has 2 units of that somewhere. There's another one. Plus, some Adventerie. Yes, these are crossbows, and very devastating crossbows. Now, let's look. He has 2 units of pikemen. These guys, they have pikes, and they're men. Plus, he has several units of dismounted feudal knights. 1, 2, 3, probably 6, 7 units of dismounted feudal knights. Plus a unit of armored sergeants back here. Don't know why just 1, but okay. Some noble knights and some chivalric knights. And over here we have some more noble knights. So apparently these chivalric knights are so much different from these guys. Matter of fact, they have fancier armor for their horses compared to these guys. Even though that they look just the same on the face and armor, they look a lot cooler. Yep, and so they are obviously worth probably more money, not entirely sure. But let's unpause and see what happens. I did say that I have musketeers. Musketeers have the best range in the entire game, and it is so devastating. I was going to move up. I was not going to camp, but I saw what I was doing to his men, and this forces my opponent's hand. He must now move his men up. And although he outnumbers my missile units, he's not doing the best job of moving them up. They are kind of cluttered, and musketeers do have pretty decent accuracy. But look at them all getting shot, and my monster rebuke. Oh my god, buddy, you just got hit in like the worst possible area.
Our men
Rewind
are
that
under
and
attack.
look at what.
We must act now.
Look at where he just got hit. But he got hit in a very bad spot. So they're going to open up. So technically I have 5 missile units. And here he is going to do a chivalric knight charge against my musketeers. And my musketeers believe they can fly, so they go flying a little bit. And here come the armored sergeants. Why I always bring these guys and why I always bring them close to the flanks.
Our men are under attack.
I can
we
outdo
must
these
act
guys.
now.
He is going to withdraw them, but they are down to 32 men. And here, I'm amazed at this fight. I do a charge because he went after my mounted sergeants, or I thought he was going after my mounted sergeants. And I think he just forgets about this battle. And so yes, they do just leave my men alone. That is a tree we're in. And yeah, my mounted sergeants somehow survived with 24 men. I was amazed how we were able to do that. Here he does another charge against my infantry. Just kind of disrupt my... Wow! He went flying! Trying to disrupt my musketeers. Good idea by my opponent. He's gonna push some knights over that way, and we will talk about that later on whenever I get to the right flank. Now here, I accidentally move up and walk directly at his men. And it may look really bad. Pikemen versus armored sergeants. I don't know how that's actually going to go. Kinda interested. Pikemen are taking up a defensive
Our
unit.
men are
Oh my
under
god,
attack.
he's putting
We
up
must act
pikes
now.
right now. No, don't you turn around! They turned around. Hey, apparently I caught that in time. And yes, I'm going to withdraw my men after I saw that it was armored sergeants versus dismounted feudal knights. They should actually be running. You should be running. You should be... Why aren't you running? That was a bad idea. Well, and run. And
Our
these
men
guys
are under
actually
attack.
taking some nice hits
We
and
need
surviving.
to act.
Now here, he is moving up his pikemen. And I'm shooting at some more people back there. I kind of wish I had focused fire on like one of these groups, because it would have been more devastating. But pikemen attacking like this, they're not going to be the best. I mean, he is going to do a decent amount of damage. Here, I'll bring up my general. I didn't want him to get attacked by something. I think it was some of those knights back there, but I don't know why I decided to charge him into pikemen. And here are some of my
Our men are under attack. We must act now.
I really wish he would die from something right now. And here, dismounted feudal knights versus dismounted feudal knights. What are they fighting about? Well, I don't know. Probably who is more dismounted. And plus a unit of pikemen coming after my guys. And eventually, these guys will start shooting at him. Eventually. Now, talking about the right flank, I did go back quite a bit, but the reason is, I thought this was actually a really cool shot of, you know, the sun coming up behind and seeing all these men shoot with these musketeers, and, you know, double the speed. Plus, watching this thing shoot, it's pretty cool. But the reason I started back so much is because we have quite a lot to talk about once my opponent
men
makes
are under
his correct
attack.
moves.
We need to act.
And of course, my advisor decides to ruin the moment a lot. So, I'm about to hit normal speed, and you can tell 2 units of noble knights moving on to my side. He should have been... What my opponent should have done right here, because he does make a mistake,
Our
is he
men
should
are under
have moved
attack.
these
We
guys
must
up
act
a
now.
lot sooner and had him attack my dismounted feudal knights and gone in from, you know, behind. However, I'm going to move, I think, all 3 units, yes, some of my broken lancers over here, plus a unit of armored sergeants. And if you remember, over on the left flank where somehow my mounted sergeants got away, he has a unit of 2 units of noble knights going up. Now I'm going to have a huge charge at his men, and I take quite a few good kills away from that because it was from behind. Armored sergeants coming up, all 3 units, and I see the predicament that I'm in, and it's not good. I've now created a situation where I can be completely engulfed. However, at the last second, his noble knights completely break. So I choose my target, and I go for these guys. The reason is, I have more men right here. If I can stall with just 1 unit of broken lancers, that's enough. Now I'm going to bring back...
Our men are under attack. We must act now.
God, I hate that man so much. I hate you, voice actor. But anyways, I come back and do this like half-moon encircling maneuver with my armored sergeants mixed in, and that will absolutely devastate all of these noble knights. At the same time, I'm bringing in some Venetian heavy infantry, and very good idea by my opponent to withdraw. And he withdraws completely. Now
Our
moving up,
men are under attack.
I'm taking some
We
charges
need to
of
act.
dismounted chivalric knights. Another guys, a whole bunch of them charging up, plus a unit of chivalric knights, actually. They are not dismounted. They are not in this about being dismounted. And my musketeers are just standing there. They're waiting for a target. Not entirely sure what exactly they were doing. But I'm willing to take this fight. Why he went for my Venetian heavy infantry, I don't know. I guess he thought he could take out 53 of them with his 54.
Our men are under attack.
Don't know why
we
he
must
thought
act
that,
now.
but still. Now here I caught up with his men. My broken lancers, some of them are beginning to rout. There's, you know, 1 unit's left. But he keeps doing this. He keeps withdrawing his noble knights, and I'm okay with that, because I know in a prolonged battle I will not win with my broken lancers, even though I am charging in with my wonderful mounted sergeants, and we get a pincher maneuver against these guys. So that while that is going on, of course, typical main front
Our
is
men are under
being
attack.
attacked,
We need to act.
and my musketeers are taking pot shots at these guys from the back, and that is hurting their morale quite a lot. Look at that, they're wavering, and now they are going to charge my musketeers. Why they decided to change, don't know. Don't know why my opponent did that. Anyways, over here, I was able to do some better maneuvering. I was able to completely rout that unit of, what are these, noble knights. And he has one unit of 3 noble knights just standing there. Here he also has some infanterie on my side. That's not something that's going to be really nice. And basically, you can see that this is a grinding fight
Lord
on the right
preserve
flank.
us. We have lost half of our men.
There the guy goes again. He's telling us that we've lost half our men once again. And here we are just going to have a huge grinding fight of Venetian heavy infantry, dismounted feudal knights, and armored sergeants versus some more dismounted feudal knights. So everyone wants to be dismounted and everyone wants to be feudal. Even though the feudal system is very, very cruel. I'm buzzing around this map
My
for like no
lord,
reason.
only half our force remains.
Incorrect. Only 48% of our men remain, and 48% of his men remain. So please, get your facts straight, advisor. What kind of
The
advisor
enemy
are
are
you?
badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
I just said that. They're down to like 40% almost. Or, yeah, 40% right about now. And now, here's a grinding fight with Venetian heavy infantry, no question about that. He just got absolutely destroyed, and he just got stabbed in the back. That was dirty. Don't do that. Those are my favorite troops.
Our men are under attack. We
And-
must act now.
Indeed, these guys are wavering. Some of them are actually steady. Yeah. And my guys are pretty much, yeah, they're eager, steady, stuff like that. Because I do have my general right here. Plus, these guys, my musketeers are opening fire on apparently pikemen and, oh, his Scots Guards as well. And look at these pikemen. He probably should have brought them forward a long time ago. But let's look at the devastation of musketeers versus Scots Guards. Any second now, hopefully my men will shoot. And wow, that's actually time delay. I find that quite interesting how there is a delay. But back over here, we've got quite a few kills against the Scots Guards. That was pretty decent. And back over to this grinding fight. Yes, look at the intensity. Oh man. Who will win? It's like that show Deadliest Warrior. Oh, my armor sergeant ended pretty badly. Personally, I would not fight with a torch in my hand. I mean, that just looks like a bad idea. Why do you need a torch? The sun's right, well, it's coming up. I think this was actually sunrise setting. But that is cool how they do have torches, and it actually adds to the lighting effect. Musketeers, what are you shooting at? I think you're shooting at those Avantiers. But finally, this grinding fight is somewhat coming to an end. Dismounted feudal knights, they were not dismounted enough and they are going to flee. More dismounted feudal knights are going to flee. Now, it's all up to these guys. Are they dismounted enough to defeat my dismounted, or my dismounted Venetian heavy infantry? And actually, I did not see these guys till last second. I accidentally grouped them all together and was going after some of these guys, which I'm chasing down. And here I used the rest of my cavalry to go ahead and charge his damn Advantarii. And I believe he actually... Well, let's just wait and see. I don't like waiting and seeing. I want to watch over here. Anyways, they broke over here.
Attack. We
So,
must
yes.
act now.
I still want to wait and see what happens. Essentially, they do win this fight against my broken lancers. Keep that in mind. They unfortunately somehow lose. Well, do they? I don't remember. I didn't watch this part in particular. Wow, taking crossbow shots right in the face would be really painful. But I'm gonna guess that they actually win that fight later on. Here we see my mounted sergeants taking pot shots at some of these riding troops, and Now I'm just pushing up while that grinding fight is still going on over there on my left flank. On my right flank, everyone has routed, so I'm going to go ahead and chase these guys down. And because I figured 28 guys left in that unit, I know there's 2 units here, and 18 left in that one, they might actually come back. Advantarii is actually withdrawing, and here he's charging with the Scots Guards. Believe it or not, they're pretty decent, but again, like I said before many times, Venetian Heavy Infantry, no match. Pikemen coming up. Let's watch and see how that works out. Well, they put their pike down, at least this time, and actually do some damage, but there are so many men that we're going to completely just destroy them. Once again, pikes go down, but not enough, just no way near enough men. So, once again, we're going to chase down the rest of these guys. There's some dismounted chivalric knights I should be chasing instead of Advantarii, but I'll get to them later. Eventually I will. Eventually we turn around and face these guys. And that guy who fell down, he's just going to take a nap there, no big deal. And take a charge from our armored sergeants from the side. And now we are back to where we started earlier. And this is an intense fight. Quite interesting looking as well. Armored sergeants versus Venetian heavy infantry. I mean, no contest of who would win, but still, this is cool eye candy. That guy just got shot by his own friends, so Advantarii, you guys need to practice your aim quite a lot. Oh well. We'll talk about that later. And here are my mounted sergeants, and 1 unit of broken lancers is going to go ahead and chase down the rest of these guys. Advantarii. Another unit of Advantarii. There's Advantarii all over the place. And finally, I ran out of ammo with this thing. I was kind of upset. So eventually, we will fast forward and we will take down the 4 remaining Advantarii that's just waiting over there. There's apparently a building over here that I just now noticed. So we're actually going to spend our time and look at the building. It's over there. I like how that tells you it's a building, even though it's across the red line. Look at those damn armored sergeants. But now it's for a time elapsed. Personally, I don't think this padding will be enough to stop a crossbow. But we will see. Yes, see how well it works. They're going to stop there and going to wait for just half a second. Now they're going to charge in. That was a very bad idea because they're probably going to take casualty. Yes, that poor guy had a very bad day. But in that charge, how many did we kill? We kill 1 guy in a charge. And eventually, oh, that guy gets stabbed in the back of the head. Ooh, that guy does too. These guys are gonna go ahead and rout. And General dies there.
The battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
And these 9 Monster Ribata did their job for today. And now, moving on. We are going to see something quite amazing. I was actually quite amazed that I was able to do this. See this last annoying unit of Advantarii. Or is it these armored sergeants? I don't remember. One of these guys takes quite a painful loss. Here I'm moving up the last of my musketeers. And I was actually going to do a melee charge with these guys, but then I decided to go ahead and use them to shoot some people. I actually should zoom this in, shouldn't I? Oh well. It's a bit too late now. And here we have some more Advantarii that's breaking. The last unit of Advantarii over there. And I'm going to focus fire on, I believe, this unit of armored sergeants. So, look how far away those guys are. They're eventually going to reload, because I think they had to. Yes. Now, let's see how devastating at this range they are against these routing armored sergeants. Whenever they can just barely see them. And wow, boom. Look at that range. That is a huge range. I mean, I don't even think Napoleon Total War had range like that. So these musketeers are amazing. And they do their job quite well indeed. And if you have a faction in which they have musketeers, and you are thinking about using gunpowder, then use the damn musketeers. Anyways, we're gonna do a time elapse. Alright, finally, I eventually catch up to these guys. After, as you can tell from the annoying words, and my advisor decided to speak some more words. They are going to stop and shoot at my guys, and I don't think they do much. I don't even think I took a single casualty in that. Once again, these guys have huge shields, which helps a lot. And we're going to chase these guys down
All
some more,
of
but
Christendom
finally,
will be awed
my
by the
opponent
victory
admits
we have
defeat,
won here
and I don't
today.
have to chase him down with all of these units. He kind of saw finally that he was screwed. And at last, we see who got the better here. So, let us look at the battle statistics and see how things went. Wow, 69 kills with my Broken Lancers. That was pretty decent. 81 kills with my Venetian Heavy Infantry, no surprise there, and 36 with my monster whatever. We're just gonna call it a monster. How well did my Musketeers do? They did, wow, really decent. 40 kills. So, overall, what was the purpose of all of this? Was the Musketeers worth it? That is the question. Is gunpowder better than something like crossbows, like these guys have? In this battle, yes. Especially because I was using Musketeers. Now, not every single faction has Musketeers. A lot of them have just arquebusters, even just handgunners. Those are not as good. I talked about them before in another video. However, they're very selective. And you notice where I had them, they were all bunched up right at the very, front of my army. And I started taking shots. And the main thing with musketeers is not kills, but morale. And these things break morale terribly. I mean, getting shot at with a, giant musket, that would be pretty scary. Especially these guys, whenever they just have crossbows and pikes. So, they devastate morale, and using them appropriately is the key. You noticed several times I peeled off my guys kind of to the side, sometimes right behind my men, but overall it was enough to break his men, or at least shake them. And even if they are just shaken, it puts the battle in your favor. So keep that in mind if you are thinking about using gunpowder. Gunpowder is extremely useful, but it is a risky chance, because if you're using something like arquebuses, it's not going to be able to defeat something like Adventures or Scots Guards. If I'd used just arquebusters, then this battle would be a lot different. I would have not have the main push in which I forced my opponent to make his move. Otherwise he would have been screwed, because I completely outranged him. But hopefully you guys learned something from this very interesting and fun talk about awesome monster Rubiata, which is somewhat worth the money. Keep that in mind as well. Talking about gunpowder, one last thing. They are somewhat worth it. Now, like I said before, and other things, like with the standard, if you want to win, probably not worth your money. But if you want to just fool around, see how it works out, it's a pretty fun unit. And I know it can shoot like 36 rounds in a single shot, so it can devastate quite a few people if you have it in the right situation. But it is just like artillery in Empire Total War. It has to be used appropriately. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, learned something from it. Like, comment, subscribe, that helps me out a lot. And I'll catch you guys in the next chapter.